Okay, where are we with time?
One last question. Is this gentleman here?
One last question.
What is your take on mind-altering drugs such as hallucinogens? Do you think that these could be instrumental in the development of our consciousness?
Could they be? Possibly. I've run into a few people who seem to have very positive results in their development from drugs, but they all fall into one category. They tried some drugs. The drugs showed them that it's a bigger reality. They let the drugs alone and went to try to, went to the internet or someplace to figure out what was going on and how it worked. And from then on, they're drug-free, they learn, they grow, they develop their consciousness and so on. So as an initial wake-up call to show you that there is this bigger reality, it seems to work okay. Anything beyond that, generally not so much. The reason is, you don't grow up from an experience. You don't have an experience and grow up. You grow up because you change yourself. You're different. You have to change who you are. And the only way to grow up is to let go of your fear. Having an experience doesn't help you that much to let go of your fear. It may help you a little bit to let go of some fears, but it's not going to reduce your ego, get rid of your beliefs. It'll change your beliefs, mostly. Changes your beliefs and modifies your ego into some other thing. The problem I found with people who do drugs regularly is that they tend to have the opinion that they have evolved spiritually. Just like drunks have the opinion that they're brilliant. They've seen things. They've seen big pictures. They've seen things. They've been a part. They've experienced being a part of the whole. They've experienced the oneness. They've experienced some magnificent things, and it changes their life, and they see things differently now than they ever did before. But it doesn't really make much fear go away. What they've gained is mostly up here in experience. What they need to do is change down here at the being level to become somebody else. And those two one doesn't make the other happen. Now, it's not that it can't happen, but generally in our culture, the way we do drugs is that it's illegal. We do them in a privacy, someplace, with friends. That's not a very controlled way of doing it. If we were to actually study these drugs and find out how and why they work and what they do and how they could be used maybe in a controlled way, in a very well-defined program or something, maybe they could turn out to be useful. But just taking a drug to have an experience and going, wow, that was a great experience, now I see, I understand everything now, and then going back to your life and basically living it the same way you did before, isn't all that helpful. But because you think you understand it so much better now, and you've seen a bigger picture, which is true, it's a true picture that you see. It's not that all that's just a meaningless hallucination. Those drugs will enable you to see real reality, the way it is. But now that you've seen it, it will change something about your attitude. Oh, you've got this bigger picture now, and look at all those people. They've never had that experience. They don't understand. They don't know that we're all connected. They don't know that we're all part of the same big thing. They've never felt the love of they might call the universe, but it isn't, of consciousness. And because of that, they feel kind of different and special. They tend to stay off to themselves. They tend to lose interest in this mindless rat race that makes up the larger society and all its nastiness. So they tend to withdraw. And all of that's counterproductive. Where your growth comes from is from interacting, engaging, not withdrawing. You got to connect. You got to deal with that nasty system and deal with it with love and with caring and not with ego and not with belief. So withdrawing is the wrong way to go. Engaging is the way to go. But if you feel like you are enlightened and you've learned a whole lot and you tend to withdraw from that nasty world that just doesn't understand, those things may be true. You may have learned a lot about it, and that world is pretty nasty. But that's not on your path to love. That's on your path to self-congratulations, because you know so much more than everybody else. You've had these wonderful experiences. Those poor slobs just don't get it. and you're going to rise above them, and you're really not on their level anymore, and they'll just have to go, wallow in their own misery because you're not part of that scene anymore. And you're shifting your ego from where it was to now a different sort of ego. And it's not really growing up. It's change. It's different. But it's, I've known dozens of people that have done that. And I've met them in a lot of talks. They come up and they talk with me. And it's usually clear that they're still right up here with fear and ego. They've had amazing experiences, of course, but they're still right up to here with fear and ego. So they're not really growing up as much as they think. They just have seen a bigger picture. It's like you travel. Go back 300 years, travel was really hard. The only people who traveled were rich people because it was so hard. And rich people would go and they would have a bigger perspective. And now they weren't so provincial anymore. Everybody else never got more than 20 miles from home because 20 miles is a long walk. So these people who traveled had bigger viewpoints, bigger perspectives. But did it make them nicer people? Did it grow them up? Did it make them more loving and more caring and whatever? No. It made them cleverer. It made them bigger. Yeah, they could see things. Made it easier for them to manipulate things on a bigger level. It did help them. They did grow from it, but they didn't evolve the quality of their consciousness very much just by seeing things. Experience isn't the thing. All right, my boss back there is about ready to shoot me. So we're going to have to wind this up. I'd just like to say thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Okay, ladies and
I'd like to be able to stay longer. Thank you. Thank you.